Thank you for watching, and remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support.
All right, is that what, wind chill sub-zero up there in northern Minnesota?
That's a little much.
Yeah,
That's a little much.
Somewhere in between, Alex. Well, yesterday we asked you, how do you plan ahead for a week of weather? Do you plan ahead? Do you check the weather on a daily basis, hourly, or you just like wing it? So we had a great set of comments coming in. This first one from Mark, who said,
having to wait that long, but kudos to this flight attendant for trying to make everybody, a little cheery.
Yeah, no, I mean, they work so hard. Right?
They do work incredibly
And they
hard.
have to deal with so much, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know when you land in Hawaii, you get the LAOs.
Right.
How long did they wait?
That was
4
45
hours.
minutes?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so should that dance have been followed by a few Mai Tais?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Hey, you guys, on our show today, we're going to talk about like what place is your top holiday getaway? What screams like festive for you? And so, holiday, obviously paradise. Love to go there any time of year. But what place to you is like winter holiday getaway?
Tropics.
A mountain.
I like the ski resorts.
It's really weird. Ask me 20 years ago, I would have said the mountains. Now I'm going to say the tropics.
Wow.
True
That's
story.
a big difference.
Yeah.
I made the switch.
His blood is thinning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's right.
All right, well, we will actually show you what city bubbled up to the top spot on today's show. America's Morning Headquarters rolling on right here until noon. Guys, have a good day.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us here as we work our way through our Tuesday. And Jen, lots to follow here as we work our
Wins or something else. If you were
Yeah.
watching any Monday Night Football, you saw the game.
That was wild. Only 3 passes attempted by
Is that a record? Low?
absolutely.
You think?
Santa
I
spot,
don't think
right?
you're going to find any decorations up there.
What are you talking about, Santa? All right, we'll track down that #1 spot at 40 past the hour. But as you sit back for that second cup of coffee, maybe a little OJ, we are getting you ready, no doubt, to get up off the couch and enjoy the day and days ahead.
We're going to tell you some good things here. So here's what's going on with our forecast. Next system comes into the west. It's been very active up here in the northwest here. This is no different. More snow coming into places like British Columbia. I mean, the northern Cascades get in this time as well, and into Colorado.
Yeah,
Finally.
there you go. Finally, exactly. That's the spot we were talking about it last week, how dry it's been in that zone. So that's going to be beneficial, no doubt about it. So we'll track this working its way eastbound here as we head on through our end of the week. Notice now we carve out that trough a little deeper right in the middle of the country. So as that happens, there'll be some colder air to work with here right in the heartland here with that system that's going to meet up with some moisture. And so that opportunity for some of that snow will be in play here for you across this zone by the time we get to that end of the week.
All right, now here's our low pressure system that develops. And this is going to be, what you think of when you come of extratropical low pressure system. There'll be wind with it. There'll be cold air to the north. There'll be a lot of warm air to the south. In fact, we'll be setting some record temperatures by the time we get into Friday. But what happens then into the weekend when this low starts to use some of that cold air?
Yeah, exactly. That is what we'll be following by the time we get to Thursday night. You see mostly snow here for you, working its way from the Rockies out into the plains here for you. By the time we move into Friday, that all begins to shift off towards the north and the east. So there'll be a swath of snow here from parts of the western lakes all the way back there into the central plains. And some of that snow potentially could be decent snow to add up.
I mean, we could get 8 to 10 inches somewhere in that swath, even into the Midwest. Denver, could this be our first flakes of the season? It's possible. It is not a guarantee, though.
No.
I mean, the mountains look good for the forecast, but Denver, I still think there's a chance of getting some snowfall here. And if we don't do it Friday, then we do set the record. I think Friday's the day.
That is the day.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like you want to see the snow, but man, you're so close to the record.
No,
Let's just get that
That's
record.
usually how I am, but at this point, it's like, I just want you guys to get some snow. Then we turn our attention this weekend. Places. That's why we didn't do a poll, because we don't want you to just pick from the few that we put out there. But we'll give you some ideas. Stone Mountain Christmas is going on in Stone Mountain, Georgia. They've got the Summit Sky Rides, the light show, some music with fireworks.
Yeah, I know. I grew
That's
up.
even easier.
Spent high school years in Stone Mountain. Never touched this place at all.
Really?
Yeah, I know,
Never hiked up to the top?
Oh, well, during the holiday.
Oh, you never did the holiday thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at this forecast. We're back to the 60s.
Yeah, right.
Thunderstorms in the forecast.
Yeah, riding down in the snow with 60s just doesn't seem right.
I know. I'll be right back with more great events and back to my show you where that comes from. Let's look at the forecast. We do have about an inch, maybe even 2 or 3 in a number of spots here throughout the Northeast. Now you can see it's not just lake effect this next time. We've got parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, up into Maine, maybe even Boston with the chance of snow. Next disturbance comes in. You see it right there across portions of the upper plains. And then we watch that move east, tracking here over the Great Lakes, maybe bringing some light precip there. Then it heads into the northeast. And what's most important that happens with this is what happens over the ocean, actually. We get a coastal low. Where exactly does that form? And then how much moisture does it throw back, and does it meet up with the cold air? That's the dance that the atmosphere is trying to put together for you here. And so this is tomorrow. We start with some snow showers out there. You'll see that maybe across central New York, Albany, the Capital District, Binghamton, Buffalo, Syracuse, all have some snow chances, but not like the kind of snow that Mike is getting, right? It's not going to be that big dump of the lake effect at this point with system snow. Now, here we go in Boston tomorrow afternoon. We're waiting for that coastal low to start forming. We have a chance of getting into some snow at this point, continuing into the evening. Again, the questions here are how much moisture gets back into the system, how quickly does this move out, right? Do you only get an hour or two of this, or do you get a couple of hours? So we do bring in some snow chances for places like Boston, but it's about an inch right now in the forecast. We haven't hit anything yet this year. Boston, again, an inch in our forecast all across the metro area, but you need to know this, that our forecast is an inch, but when you look at sort of what are the odds, what are the probabilities, it's possible that we get an inch. It's much more likely that we only get about a trace to nothing. And so that's important to know in this forecast. There's a chance of that, but not much more, Alex.
Indeed, indeed. We'll be watching.
We're not really getting a lot of snow. This radar, I know, looks pretty busy out there. It's pretty dry, so a lot of this isn't reaching the ground, but you're getting some across southern Minnesota. This is the next disturbance that becomes the northeast disturbance and potential coastal low as we get into tomorrow and then early Thursday. So here's where we are right now. Minneapolis, we are getting some light snow showers out there, but it is only 10 degrees right now. So we've got a lot of chill in the air. I mean, look at this all across the area. That must be the wind chill factor, right? Was that the temperature or wind chill? That was wind chill. Yeah, it was cold. It's cold. It can't be that cold, but it is definitely a bit nippy out there. Now, with temperatures in the 20s, no, wind chill factor, sorry, in the 20s, Jamestown, Bradford. And for us, we do have the snowflakes coming down. And what's going on is the lake effect. So this is coming in off of Lake Erie, the south towns of Buffalo, and then up to Syracuse, where it's north of you that you are getting into that bigger snow. And that's where we've been finding Mike Seidel, and even watching us here, you saw his shot this morning, very snowy. So we'll keep those snow showers going for you for the next couple of hours, at least through the afternoon, especially this band here coming on off of Ontario. This one is going to last just a little bit longer, and you'll see that into, say, maybe the early evening hours and then start to taper off. But then the next system comes in, so we watch that, and that brings system snow crossing over the lakes tomorrow. And so then what happens to it off the coast? A coastal low. And then we get a chance of getting some snow into New England. But this is not like a nor'easter, sit there and spin and dump moisture kind of coastal low. This is moving pretty quickly. We'll get some out of it. A couple of inches here, interior in New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Boston, a chance, but it's really only about an inch or so of snow in the forecast. Now, on the southern side of all this, Alex, we're still stuck with that.